Hi, I'm Anna.
I'm Ben.
We are AutoSave. Welcome to our
Today we're
channel.
watching Steins Gate Zero, Season 1, Episode 14. 14. That's the episode we're watching. I got it right this time. I think. Maybe. Now, last episode, we ended with a extremely unsettling and interesting kind of like during credit scene. It's not really an after credit scene. It's weird.
If it goes on and the credits
Through the
play,
credits. Yeah.
I don't know what to call that.
Kaguri seems to be awakened in some sort of MK Ultra style brainwashing at the moment she heard something that sounded a lot like Mozart playing.
Mm-hmm.
And now she's missing. I don't know if we can find her. She left her phone behind with the Upa phone case, and Suzaha has found it. I don't even know how you're supposed to find somebody at that point.
All I'm thinking right now in my theorist brain is that the people, whoever they may be, that had Kaguri locked up where she was locked up and have been, what we are assuming, brainwashing her, they are the ones that were driving that van that was like Mozart, fun for all ages, all around town, trying to get her back.
It is kind of like a beacon, right? Because if you can just activate it in the slightest, then she could potentially just come home or come to where
That's
you
how
want her to.
How's the plan to get her back? That's my theory.
Do you think the brainwashing goes hand in hand with the memory loss, or do you think the brainwashing is literally like just like a switch? You know?
Does sound similar to me.
That's fair. All right.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
Sweet. I can't imagine Mayuri's doing great.
Trying to have some semblance of normalcy?
Several months.
Several months? Mary. Demolishing
Oh my
it.
god.
And you don't have definitive proof of the brainwashing, the buildings getting demolished. How do you even try to begin to find her?
In this outfit, Mayuri looks much younger.
Well, now that she's not a mother, she has to dress younger. Wait. What?
Okay.
This is in the original. Wait, is everything slightly different?
My current guess is that
yes, everything is slightly
Okabe
different.
goes to America and we see Kaguri there. I'm so glad the song didn't change.
Oh, this is gonna make me cry.
Oh.
Oh, no.
So, when you have, like, an updated...
Did you see what that was?
Yeah, it was, like, the original message. Whoa, why is Mayuri in a time machine? Does Mayuri go back and slap him? Oh.
She looks tired. The time difference might
true.
also be affecting things.
Ah.
So they're working behind his back. Wow.
Aw.
Yes.
Do you think that we make something similar to the time leap machine?
I like that idea. I like that whatever is created is unique to Maho as a scientist. I like that.
じゃあ説得する
無理だお。紅白で間違いない。
でしょ
すごい剣幕で言うじゃん。変えようなんて思うなって。それなりに理由があると思うんだよね。
オカリンおじさんの気持ちはわかるよ。世界大戦が起きるこの世界線が正しいなんて思えない。
それはオカリンも思ってるよきっと。
ゲートを目指すためのタイムマシンがあって、リーディングシュタイナーの能力があって、でなんで諦めるの？しようとしてくれないの？なんで？
いつかオカリンが復活して、また。
I cannot wait.
もう半年過ぎた。
それは。
He's holding on to that hope. And so are we. Especially Ben.
私たちで何とかするしかない。
欲しいなんて言っておいてこんな低たらくで。
ために頑張ってくれているのは分かっているから。
マユシからだ。死がまた入院したって。
Oh?
What? The friends had more of a presence in this intro.
母さんも来るんでしょ？
そんな場合じゃないと思うんだけど。
生まれてこなくなるような事態になったら。
気合い入れて行ってまいります。
いってらっしゃ
I
い。
will not let you down.
頑張ります。
He's like, I'm a man of charisma. I got this.
Upa?
平気平気。なんかね、一度病院に来てくれって言
Oh,
われただけなの。
okay.
いくら入院してくるって送ってくるって書いたんだからさ。
You don't think she's getting brainwashed, do you?
心配はないんだな。
橋田さん、
お、
こんばんは。
どうも。あれ？
で全員個室が必要なんだね。絶対のです。そう言われてもね。
Oh?
すごよく。
そこをなんとレスキネン教授。お久しぶりです。
リンタロー。彼は弟子さんのアインシュタイン。
Third Einstein.
我が大学の生徒となり、いずれ
In
September.
我の研究室にも入ってもらうコンドリア大学に。
ああいえ。
まゆしまゆし。学するんオカリン。
So is this news to everyone? Is this how we're finding out?
だけど、勉強頑張ってるんだよ、オカリン。
そっか。
Hmm.
院長先生、そんな偉い人に嘘を。
言ってないよ、リンタロー。私は9月と仕事は言ってない。
ヒアジョさんもこっちに。
気になるのけね。じゃあアメリカだ。
That is unfortunate.
君がそう言ってたことは伝えておこう。しっかりとね。
Why are you here?
Yeah, why are you here? Why do you want a separate room?
圧縮していたと考えるのが自然ね。クリスと関係があってそんなことが可能な施設との。
死者の墓を暴くのと同じ行為だ。
これも
Heavy.
一歩間違えば似たような行為よね。教授？岡部さん？
Oh, stop!
Oh
That's
my
so
God.
<laughs>
good.
何かあったんですか？
Wow.
Amadeus looks so like there's this like uncanny valley with
I think it
Amadeus.
has to have that.
なんで？
Look at the eyes.
Yeah, the strain.
ですよ。
タイムマシンは作れると。
先輩？
Is Maho gonna try to use Kurisu for this?
マキセ・クリスが日本に渡る前までの記憶を持っているのです。改まって。もしもよ、タイムマシンを作る方法が見つかって、材料が目の前にあるとしたら、そんなの愚問ですよ。決まってるじゃないですか。ただし、その材料を用意した人が言うの、悪魔の発明だ。絶対に作ってはい。迷うでしょうね。過去に干渉することで未来がどうなるのか、たちがどうなるのか、何一つ分かっていませんから、形にはするでしょうね。かで迷うと思いますが。
Using it or not would be the tough choice. Interesting.
I love that the answers that she'd put it together.
どうしていった？
Why did no one notice it? Exactly.
ここに今のうちに汗流しとこう。
If she's come here once before, what's stopping her from coming again? Is this a horror movie now?
I'm scared. Oh no. I mean, if Leskinen's here, why wouldn't Judy Reyes be?
動くな。おかしな真似をしたら
Holy shit.
手を頭の上に。
Hell yeah, Suzuha.
ゆっくり外に出ろ。 止まれ。この暑いのによくそんな格好していられるな。ヘルメットだけでも取ったら。
Oh my god. Oh no! Excuse me.
かがり。
Look at her eyes.
神様の声が聞こえる。どこにあるの？ママからもらった大事なもの。
Upa.
持ってるんでしょう。出して。
Holy
Wait,
shit!
did someone else plant it here?
Oh my god, the animation. Look at her eyes.
ベソベソ泣いていた子供とは思えないな。驚いたよ。さん、泣いていたぞ。おとなしくしろ。痛い。痛いよ。
She might be playing you right now. She might be playing you right now.
扉開けっぱなしで
Holy shit! Oh my god!
No!
傷一つつけてみる。たとえお前本当に殺す。
Jesus.
かがりたんだよね。どうしてかがりたん？多分泣いてた。
There's such a big piece of her there still.
スーツの女がかがりたん
That
だったなんて。
is a ginormous shock to me.
父さんたちを襲ったのは別のやつだよ。あの時かがりは神社に洗脳を受けて操られている。
洗脳って誰に？
マシンでやってきたことを知った誰かがかがりを捕らえて。
How?
どうしたん？
声が聞こえる。聞こえる。
No, before that.
声。
It happened before you got here.
あの時す
Was
Yes.
already brainwashed.
に連絡するよ。かがりたんが現れたって。
必死に探してくれると思う。でも
This whole episode is them working behind his
今
back.
のかがりは危険すぎる。
And
But
Daru's like, he
overseas.
has a future. What a shot.
かがりのことを思い、かがりを救うためにはタイムマシンを使うしかない。私は今頃になって思い出すなんて。の仲間たちを次々に毒牙にかけた教授。
What?
父さん。
マホタンにもう一度頼んでみる。的にタイムリープマシンの開発を手伝ってくれないかって。心配すんな。僕が絶対完成させてみせる。
日本にどうしてもあなたの力が必要なの。世界を救うために。
作れれば夏服
Oh my god.
純白のワンピースの配送。
父さん。
アイスマン、妄想が暴走するとマホタンがいないと修理できそうもないんだよね。で
本気で直すつもりなのね。もう一度言う。あなたの力を借りたい。考えさせてくれる。はっきりしたことは聞いていない。リスは岡部倫太郎と一緒に別の世界線で何度もトライ。それでも時に干渉することに成功したのだ。マキセ・クリスはその装置を。
若さで論文が掲載されるとはね。その才能は本物だ。
Wow.
Different shoes.
Nice switching of location.
開けてやるって。絶対中を見てやるって。で、そのくらいは。
と間違えば死者の墓を暴くのと同じ行為だ。
たいのかしらね。
Build it and then decide, right?
先輩、考え事ですか？では相談に乗りますけど。ありがとう。先輩？ちょっと探し物を。雑誌の
Like her own idea?
Hacking.
たどり着けばいいのよね。答えを探し回るのではな
Not
く、
by searching through
あ
your
なたの
her
道筋を
own
たどって。
her own time machine, her own path.
私は再び向かう。マキセ・クリスが生涯を。理由は少し言葉にはしにくいけど、一つだけ。
They asking if she's old enough to travel by herself.
モーツァルトの才能を誰よりも認めている。サリエリなのだ。
I'm pretty certain this song was made for Steins Gate Zero.
No.
I feel like watching the phone spinning, I'm getting brainwashed. Okay, that was Steins Gate Zero, episode 14. What an episode. That felt like it was like an hour long. We got so much.
I feel like my brain didn't leave episode 13. Like, I was still in there, even though there was time and space in between us watching episode 13 and 14.
Yeah.
So I would say both of those episodes together, still, it felt like I had still just been sitting here for both and witnessing both at the same time.
I feel like it's ramping up to like a point that it wasn't before for me. I feel like we're like really taking steps into what will be the main plot, the main like potatoes of Steins Gate Zero right now.
Mm-hmm.
With Maho coming back, you know?
Right. I interesting thing to bring up with Maho coming back and with Maho deciding, from what we can tell, in her own way to create her own version of a time leap machine. Does that bring CERN back into the scenario and into the question? And I think that's fair to bring up, because we are friends now and working with enforcers of CERN. But we know why CERN got involved with us in Steins Gate in the first place.
On one hand, I'm like, yeah, for sure, because we're dealing with time travel again. But on the other hand, we won't be hacking into CERN servers. I imagine. It's not going to be easy enough that we let them in, you know?
The only issue is, will Moeka and Mr. Braun find out that we're doing this? Like, I get you. Like, we're not showing CERN online through hacking that we are, you know, working on this. But we are now allies and close with two characters who kind of, their lives are on the line in terms of their work with CERN. And they've said before to us, at least Mr. Braun, that the reason they're allying right now with Okabe is because it has nothing to do with CERN, and because it's mainly just Nei's life, their life, and it has nothing to do with his job. But this has something to do with his job.
It would be wild if not only we're dealing with who we are with Judy Reyes, Kaguri, brainwashing, but we'd also have CERN in the equation as well.
I feel almost like I am silly. Like my brain isn't strong enough, and that whatever I say is actually really idiotic. Because I'm like, I'm not a scientist, of course, and I'm like saying this about CERN, and I'm like, what if there's evidence that there's no way in this timeline that CERN would get involved, and I'm just like not remembering it in the same way that the Kaguri showing up in this episode, I was like, what? Mind blown, completely forgetting there were moments where she was she couldn't have been the person in the motorcycle helmet.
I think that there could be overlap, because regardless, we know that in World War III, when that outcome happens, and like the ramp up to World War III involved CERN and regular Steins Gate, the idea that Suzuha said that there was like the Bureau's professor and like tortured or dealt with many of her comrades, like there could
Valkyries,
be a connection.
Which is an awesome name, by the way. Awesome name.
There could be a connection somehow.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I
like the choice of just calling them the professor and then hiding the face, like the eyes specifically in that flash to us. That's nice.
See,
awesome.
In my mind, I'm like, okay, well then the professor couldn't be the doctor who was operating on Kaguri, because there's such a close connection between Suzuha and Mayuri that it's like, how would that have been able to happen before they like traveled back in time? You know?
That's a great question. See, I can get behind it being... I could get, like, if we were to be like, oh, the professor is Professor Leskinen in the future, or something, possibly. I can get behind that because of the idea that, through time and through discovery and through just world events, people can change. People can end up doing something you would have thought when I knew that person 20 years ago, they would have never done that. And they could totally be doing it, and you would be surprised by that.
My default there was like, oh, well, Suzuha's met Leskinen, but we don't have confirmation that Suzuha has met the Bureau's professor,
It could just be an infamous title of someone that she knows, like a code name almost.
Yeah.
Like that is a person that has dealt with comrades of hers. But that doesn't mean that Suzuha herself has met that person and had any interactions
I'm
with them.
glad that Suzuha it feels like is back on the same page as me. Like the idea of Kaguri being brainwashed the second she already got to this time.
I like seeing a character figure out things, and then we get to witness them figure it out in real time.
Yeah.
Quote unquote. And I really, really liked that because we could have maybe said it out loud before that moment, but it's like, not that it was occurring to me at the same time it was occurring to her, but it definitely went into my head like, oh yes, of course, when it was occurring to her.
Yeah. What is the deal with the Fubuki mixed with like the Leskinen interaction? Because it's hard for me to believe that the only reason Fubuki was going back to the hospital and that being the bridge of getting, Okabe to the hospital. It's hard for me to believe that it was just used as a device just to have Okabe see Leskinen. Like, it makes me think that there is something more to the Fubuki being at the hospital and to the director of the hospital here.
So what is the purpose of this scene? What does it do other than just coincidence bump into another character? I would say my takeaway is what it does to Mayuri and Daru, this interaction. I would say nothing here is of consequence or purpose other than coincidental meeting with someone that you knew before, other than the effect it has on Daru and Mayuri hearing about Okabe going overseas soon.
Yeah. So there's already plans put into place from my interpretation of the Leskinen professor conversation, because it's like him saying, and why does everyone need their own private rooms? Like, what's the plan there? What is Leskinen put into play? Like, the idea of a doctor in the future identifying Kaguri with a sheet of paper that says Amadeus on it is obviously there has to be a connection with that to Leskinen, who is completely involved with Amadeus, talking to a doctor about individuals in a hospital needing their own room. Like, those two things are so closely related,
Yeah, but I can't understand exactly how or why they're related. Why is he here? I can't actually figure it out or theorize why he's here right now. It's not like he's visiting someone as far as we know from any context clues.
I don't know. It's like...
Seems like he came here just to talk to the head. This is like the head of the hospital, right?
Yeah.
The director.
How does Kaguri at all involve Amadeus? Like, other than what we've been shown. So we know that Kaguri obviously looks like a hell of a lot like Kurisu, right? Yep. And we know that Amadeus has Kurisu's core memories prior. What would be the next step in human involvement? Like, I would have thought that you try to like create a clone of a person or but is it like more of like an implanting of a memory? Is that what brainwashing is?
So like I was about to ask, how do you even do that? Which is a funny question because like obviously how do you even make a time machine?
Yeah.
But maybe how you implement memories or core memories into a new person that you've created is maybe you've created a physical clone. We know that cloning is a thing that is currently, possible. At least like there was like a sheep cloning or something.
Yeah.
I feel like I learned this in high school and it's been a really long time and it's like no one really wants to talk about it kind of thing.
Cloning exists at like very mainstream. There are a lot of celebrities who've cloned their own dogs, you know?
Actually, I have heard of that.
Yeah.
I've only heard it obviously of animals.
Yeah.
But my point is that so the physical body can be cloned and so you can have everything be accurate as far as possible in that regard. But what if the way to in a way that makes sense to our world, real world, scientific theory I could come up with, how would you actually implement memories into a real person that were not their own? Brainwashing.
Yeah.
You brainwash Kaguri with all of Amadeus's memories, all of Kurisu's self.
But it's not Kurisu that we're seeing through Kaguri.
Right.
Like when she was fighting with which was an awesome sequence, Suzuha, there wasn't any language or action that. Yeah, exactly.
She was still herself, but like brainwashed to kill.
Yeah. When talking about like implanting memories into somebody, it immediately makes me think of reading Steiner. The idea of being able to hold memories over different world lines. And then it's like I felt like in Steins Gate original, Kurisu touched on the idea of being able to transfer world lines while retaining memory of those previous world lines and the potential of how you'd have to do that, but obviously it never came to fruition other than with Okabe. So I'm wondering if that could be a route we go down with Maho's individual like idea for.
I like that because I think that we also need to say it's not like Okabe necessarily needs to be this actual special person in terms of like they were born with this. We know that one night when they were a kid, this kind of awakened in them.
Yeah.
And it is possible that the reading Steiner was something that scientifically was made possible later in the future to Okabe, given to him.
Yeah.
Used on him, practiced on him.
Watching the intro, I swear, like one of the last bits of this new intro looked a lot like Mayuri in a Time Machine.
It does look like Mayuri in a Time Machine.
And then I'm like, what was one of the main differences in Steins Gate Zero in episode 23B? Mayuri not slapping him.
And also, how do we start Steins Gate Zero?
Yeah.
We start Steins Gate Zero in the future with Mayuri regretting, could I have done something different that day?
Yeah.
That's how we start this whole chapter.
Is that part of any type of potential key or future?
I think that is a really entertaining direction to go down. We know that it has to marry with... She has to choose to slap him. And we've talked before of all the reasons or how you get Mayuri to slap him in this instance. I like this as a possibility. Yeah. It's fun. But we also have to have Okabe get to the point where he wants to build the time machine and make that video for himself.
Exactly.
Those two moments need to marry together, and we might be seeing them marry together.
Do you feel like the whole Amadeus and Salieri like conversation and like, oh, like I'll never be that, but this person acknowledged the other more than anyone else. Do you think that's like meta talking to the audience of like Maho not being able to replace Kurisu as a character? That's not what we're trying to do.
It's not what
we're not trying to step on Kurisu's like character and writing. We're trying to do something different, but
not trying to disgrace the dead. Yeah, exactly. I like that idea that it's a little bit of a fourth wall. Because
like I was beginning to be like this episode, damn, like if there are other ways to go about it and Maho brings that, what does that do to my memory of Steins Gate as a series and Kurisu?
I think that's also something good to bring up with the fact that there's always these little moments with Maho of other people being like, oh, romantic interest
Yeah.
in Okabe, and we're like, no, she's taken.
I don't know. I felt like I was thinking that, and then the conversation itself came up in that way, and I was like, okay, I get it. I get that it's different, but
I also like this idea that, like, there can be more than one genius.
yeah.
There can be more than one person that is capable of reaching great heights or discovering something. Two people could technically invent the same thing, but yes, it might be years apart, and it probably would be built slightly differently because it's a creative process, a scientific process in their own mind of how to unlock it.
I hope that one day I'm able to fool a would-be assassin by putting a phone memo in a shower with a fake body double.
Okay, so how did she know to do that? Like, what?
I would assume, like,
What was she suspicious of? We didn't see any clues of suspicion.
Upa being there and knowing brainwash, and it's just Suzaha who's just better.
Okay, that's fair. Because also we go on to get the explanation of, was that here this whole time? And then it being like, no, there's no freaking way that, because someone else would have seen it.
Yeah.
Oh, she's been here? But then to be on guard like that and to think that, like, someone's coming right then, I'm like, super spidey senses. I don't know how. I'd be dead.
Maho's coming back. I'm happy
Maho's
about
coming
it.
back, and we are happy about this, but we do have to mention that, like, obviously Daru and Suzaha are going behind Okabe's back
Dangerous.
in a few different ways, and very consciously so, very acknowledging of this. We even get Daru kind of remembering about the overseas at the end, which I think you brought up, like, is that an idea that Daru's like, maybe don't involve him because he has a future he can be excited about?
Yeah.
But Daru's future so viscerally entangled. Like, his daughter's literally there in front of him. His future wife is literally there in front of him. Like, his sign that he should be a part of this in World War III is literally in front of him.
Yep.
And Okabe, it doesn't necessarily have to be as obvious as it is for Daru. Therefore, maybe he can still go on to do other things. But how will he feel when Maho is here?
Great question. Alrighty, that's all I have you.
I think so.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we hope to see you next time.